That's exactly what I tell my wife.
What's that?
He just popped on, baby. Let's do this. He just popped on.
Is
He's
she okay
ready.
with that?
He's oh man. She thinks she won the lotto.
Nice.
She's the luckiest woman alive. 10 years,
Yeah.
dude. Warrior status.
I was pretty pumped when I saw that. Yeah.
10 years. This is totally off subject, but I fell into a kind of a rabbit hole yesterday. I see a lot of like um people doing weird stuff to try to avoid germs. Like just all over my town, like they walk up to a door and they use their shirt to open, like, it's like a 17-year-old healthy young boy, but he uses his shirt to open the door to Starbucks. And like just all these, and I see it as like, I see it as mental health issue. I would be as arrogant to say as I know it's a mental health issue. And by that, I mean, the effort that people make to avoid the germs shows a lack of risk assessment and is reducing the quality of their life and probably the duration of their life because of these presuppositions they have about germs and viruses and all that shit. But anyway, when you work in a gym, do you see that shit, crazy shit everywhere? Like people like,
germaphobes.
yeah, or they just can't even be in there.
Well, the germaphobes I do see cleaning their hands or like spraying down bars excessively. I suggest people do it, but I like you, man. I think the more things you're exposed to, the better, and your immune system is probably going to be. So,
do you use ass gaskets personally?
No, I don't.
Yeah, me neither. I do a wipe though. I do a wipe. So yeah, you know what? Now that you mention it, as a young man, I think I did use ass gaskets, and somewhere probably in my 30s, I stopped. But I do wipe the seat off. I do take a big old handful of toilet paper that probably is like three giant redwoods worth of toilet paper, and I wipe the seat.
I like a home court advantage if I'm going number 2, but
that's true.
But if I'm out in the public, I'm going to give it a once over regardless.
And I also wipe the area below, like you know the part that's closest to you at the tip. I wipe that kind of just in case I'm sitting down. I don't want my pants or my shorts maybe touching like some residual piss like on the lower side of the.
Yeah, plus the front of the bowl, man. Someone with a giant dong probably is rubbing against it. I'm not down with rubbing my dong on someone else's dong.
The humble man knows that there may be a giant dong in the area. Hey, when you have 2 daughters?
Yes.
And were you pretty fastidious about that too? Like when you would take them into the bathroom, like they got to take a deuce, you'd wipe the whole seat down, wipe down the sides, make sure that like their pants or their dress or whatever wouldn't touch that.
I mean, yes and no. When they were not like excessively though, just if there was something on the seat, I would give it again a once over. But I didn't spend like 15 minutes doing any extra cleanup. It was like you got to go in and go get out. I don't, I didn't do it.
Yeah, I didn't carry any spray or anything, but I would wipe it down even if I thought it was clean. I just figured.
Yeah.
I would do for them what I would do for myself.
100%. Yeah.
Hi, Caleb.
Morning.
Morning. Great haircut.
Caleb, meet Brendan.
Nice to meet you, Brendan.
Hey, good morning.
Brendan owns CrossFit Mecklenburg.
Oh, awesome.
Yep.
For 10 years.
10 years.
We had a couple different affiliate names that we had to change, but as my, CrossFit Mecklenburg has been almost 7 years in September. So, but then 3 years I ran a couple other programs, and they let me continue carrying my affiliate from where I was at before.
Oh, this is going to be a good story. I could tell already. Was there any debauchery that caused the shakeups?
Yeah. We had some difference of opinions at each of the places that I was at. The first was the Harris YMCA.
Oh.
So I started in the Globo Gym atmosphere, and they offered me $5 per person when I started. And so it was up to me to make out. If I had one person, I got $5. And I think I don't think they thought I would be successful. And in the first 6 months, we had 90 members, and I was getting $5 each time they came. And it got to a point where they saw how much they were paying me, and they said, well, hold on now. Whoa. we got to pay you insurance if we're paying you this much and you're doing this many hours. And I said, well, that's perfect because I need insurance. And they weren't willing to do that. They weren't willing to create another avenue. I was underneath the umbrella of fitness, but we were really running ourselves. I was running it myself. And
were you in a racquetball court? Was it that kind of at the YMCA?
We would go really anywhere they would let me train. I was in the basketball court. I would take the stair steppers and do some GHDs outside by like the disability and fire exit. And I mean, I would literally just go wherever there was a little bit of space for the amount of people we had. So it was very austere in the type of training we were doing.
So if you had 90 clients and you got paid $5 every time they came in, and every client came in twice a week, that would be 8 times 90 is 720 times $5. That's like $4,000 a month at a YMCA.
They didn't like it. they are, you know, like the ethos or the methodology for their stuff is that they're family run and all about family. Well, I needed insurance, and when it came to it, they didn't want to be family oriented. I was like, well, I don't have insurance, so why would you not put me on insurance? And they had to create. It was just a big onion. I figured out with that that YMCA is just such an onion effect that I got like outed because I was too successful. They didn't want to see people. I don't know if they didn't want to see people getting healthy, but I know the other trainers didn't want to see that. But what's that?
No, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. They didn't pay you what?
They just refused to pay me insurance, even though I was doing, you know, as most people do in the beginning, as you're starting, I was doing 60, 70 hours, maybe not specifically training hours, but recruitment. I would walk through the gym and see someone doing a horrible push-up or something, and I would give them a little bit of, you know, critique, but not like aggressively critiquing, like giving them like an example of what might be a better way to do things.
Yeah.
And that's how I made all my clients, was just kind of helping a little bit, giving them a little bit of, hey, I could help you get a lot more healthy if you did something this way.
It's crazy. You're already onto it. It's like the thing every affiliate owner I've had on here keeps reminding me of. Hey, man, we're in the relationship business.
Yo, 100%. I've been in sales. I was in sales pretty much most of my adult career. And first was like, I worked at a truck leasing place, and it's management training. So you kind of go through all like you have to get in front of people, get them to like you, rent the trucks. And all right, sorry.
You're on your phone, right?
No, I'm on an iPad. My girlfriend with her iPad, but I'm trying to figure out how about now?
He has a girlfriend. Okay, so he's straight. All right, so that means half the audience can just turn off now.
So I forgot where I was at there, but
clients and relationships. That we're in the relationship. You're in the relationship business. Whoo! I just showed I was listening.
Yo, there you go. Yeah, for sure. That basically is the same thing. Like when I was at the Y, the girl that helped me get started was Melissa Murphy, and her dad owned Carolina CrossFit down in South Carolina in Columbia, Soda City. After a little while, she started describing our space as like a treehouse effect. When people came in there, they felt like back when they were kids, like, you know, you could cut up and work out hard, but still not make it so stressful that you didn't want to go. That's the thing that you want to have with, you know, building a relationship, but then also keeping the clients on, is that they want to be happy about coming to the treehouse, you know?
You've had people get married out of your gym.
Many people, many kids as well, in the right order for most of the times.
Hey, when I was growing up through, I remember in elementary school, like I really just wanted to go to school to see like my best friend, Jeff Holman, like I just loved going to, and if he was like sick, I was bummed. And when I was in college, I by then I'd cracked the code and I knew what I was interested in. So I would go to, I would go to class and I would always try to find a pretty girl there to kind of keep me like motivated to go to the 8 a.m. class. Even if like I wasn't going to hit on or anything, I'd just be like, okay, it was like a treat. Okay, there's that pretty girl with the crazy red hair or whatever, you know?
Yep.
And then when I went to CrossFit, it became like my friends. Like there was a guy there named Leif Edmondson or Dave Castro or Greg Glassman. Like I got up every morning knowing, okay, at least even if I didn't want to like deal with anything, I get to talk to Greg today. I get to go like to lunch with Leif. I get to work out with, Matt Bishel or whoever the guys were there. They were like my friends. I get to do shit with them.
So 10 years of training, and I wake up at 4:43 every morning. And I coach most of the morning classes. That is one of the harder ones to get coaches.
What time is morning mean?
AM, 4:43 AM.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So that's not unheard of with what we do. But
that you get up at 4:43 a.m.?
I get up so I listen to Goggins and Jocko and all those motivators. And I used to get up at 4:44. And then they said, if I wake up a little bit early every day, that's my time. And so I now set my clock for 4:43. So 1 minute if I coach 300 classes a year, calculate it out, I get 1 extra minute times that for me.
I love the math. I fucking love simple math like that. Hey, and so, do you know at what time is your first class that you teach?
5:15.
So do you know, like I get up every morning at 6 a.m. to do the 7 a.m. podcast, and I've done it now 500 or 600 times. Every minute is spoke. Like I'm in Groundhog Day. It's fucking amazing. I just fucking love it. And I laugh at myself as I go through this first hour, like before I sit down and hi, Brendan. It's crazy.
Yeah. So same
is it like
deal,
that
man.
for you from 4:43 to what is it? 5:30?
It's like the Dunkin' Donuts commercial, time to make the donuts. But
yeah.
I enjoy going to make the donuts. So
yes.
Yeah, it's same thing. Yeah, I have it all. Pretty much I have a snooze button. I know by the time I get downstairs, have my coffee ready, the second snooze hits, I know I got to be out the door in the car. I leave it silent in the car because I have music and stimulation like pretty much all day. And yeah, that's my quiet time. And yeah, I have it pretty much set to a routine.
Do you use bar soap?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why you listen to this podcast. If I use bar soap.
Oh, no, I use a loofah. You talk about it in the shower?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw your loofah, but you don't have like a bar of soap like you soap your armpits with and your cock and balls and your ass and your like you don't have a bar of soap for that.
Well, if there is a bar of soap and not a loofah, then I would use a bar of soap straight to the skin, straight to the body, everywhere, cock and balls included.
And your loofah's always in there.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a loofah in there, so I use gel because it just is easier to get on there. But if there was a bar, you put it on the loofah and then use that to clean myself.
I think you have to log out and log back in. I've seen this problem before. We're getting a crazy audio issue, a popping.
All right.
I'm sorry
That's
to
okay.
do that to you. Okay.
That's okay.
Am I right, Caleb? They log in. Okay, that's what I thought. I'd seen that before. So if you just hang, yeah, okay. If I get in the shower and the bar of soap is gone, I'd say 90. Oh, here he is. He's back.
We good?
Yeah. If I get in the shower and the bar of soap isn't there for some reason, like it's been whittled down to nothing, you know what I mean? Like when it's so small, like it gets clumped up in your pubes. 90% of the time I don't go get a new bar. Like even though it's only like 6 feet away, I don't want to like get out of the shower.
You could slip. Yeah, it's dangerous. Safety first.
I'm just like, I'm going to get everything wet. Then I'm going to have to clean that up. And I always wonder what other people do. Like if you get in the shower and your bar of soap is not there for some reason, it's run out, you didn't replace it. And sometimes I'll get in the shower like 5 times before and I keep forgetting to put a new bar of soap in there.
So then you just go with water and nothing else?
Oh yeah, or you don't tell anyone this. I use my wife's shampoo.
It's still something to wash up, but I did have a funny thing in the shower this morning. I went number 2, and I usually have a strict policy on 2 first, then shower.
Yes.
And obviously, and then had to double back, and it was kind of dangerous. Yeah, like I said, slippery on the floor, and had to get back to the commode pretty quickly.
I'm glad you didn't waffle stomp it. Someone introduced me to that concept.
I don't know what that is.
That's when you take someone on the show introduced me to that. That's when you take a shit in the shower and you stomp it down the drain. Oh my God.
I've never.
What's wrong with these people?
Wait, but that's intentional, or was it an accident?
I don't know. Ask Kayla. Oh, waffle stomp. Thank you. Defecate in the shower. And then I hope it's not. I hope it's not intentional.
I hope not either. If I do, I'd like to know their policy before I take a shower at anyone's house, though.
Travis at Vindicate doesn't like the. Yeah, it's one of those stories. It's hard. It's hard to process. Yes, I agree. Get with the program. I agree. Well, waffle stomp is aggressive.
Would you consider then
That's a mental illness. I'll throw that in the mental illness category.
What if you sharted? I guess you don't have to stop. It's just rolling. But if you try to let one ride and
I think you're using the word shart wrong. My son tries to use it like that too.
Whoa.
I think you're suggesting that if you think you're gonna fart and a little bit of something comes out, that it's always a shart.
Is that not what the?
I told him your pants have to be on.
Oh.
It actually has to.
Well, I don't know.
I told him the official. I'm a stickler on words. Oh, okay. When one attempts to fart but shit simultaneously. Okay, well, I guess I'm wrong. You give my son or my 7-year-old son, right? So you don't have to have clothes on. I told him. He's like, I sharted. I'm like, where? So just now in the toilet. I'm like, that it has to get stuck on some clothing to be a shart.
Anal sphincter. Yes. Okay. There we go. That's technical.
Yeah, he had to double back. So why did you open the CrossFit gym at the Y? How did that start?
Well, so I worked for a lumberyard. I was a sales rep for all of the Carolinas and Virginia, and the economy
Tree
went
killer.
bad.
Let me put that on your resume. Hold on, tree killer. Okay, got it.
I did have to battle a lot of architects and the fancy smart thinkers about that type of situation. But I went to Cedar School. I went to British Columbia, and they educated us on that. And they say, well, if you properly forest, I don't need to explain that.
No, but you're right. It's one of the biggest misconceptions. It's completely unbelievable how well forests are actually maintained when they're maintained properly, and that we're actually are planting more trees than we're cutting down, and it is a reusable energy source.
Yes.
And people are it's crazy. I used to be one of those people. I apologize to all of humanity for that.
Well, you've been educated on it, and that's the deal. But everyone wants to use whatever these new composite products, and they produce more carbon dioxide than anything. So anyway,
and bad for your kids. Fuck using that kind of shit around your kids.
Shit. And it's not breathable. Your house should breathe, and wood is better. But anyway, that's what she said. But I did sales, and the economy went bad, and I had got my level 1 working at a bike shop, and I loved CrossFit. I would mountain bike at lunch, but I would do CrossFit before work. And once the economy went bad, the company that wanted to hire me was out of I live in Charlotte, and Statesville's about an hour drive. And the people that wanted to hire me wanted me to be on the road 5 days a week. And my daughters were young, like I think my daughter's running her mile right now, but I think she was 18 months. And my ex-wife was pregnant with our other daughter. And I was like, I can't be on the road 5 days a week. I'm already, my track record, and I've been successful. I'll make more money than you think I will. And they were like, yeah, then we'll hire you, but we need you on the road 5 days a week. And I stood up and was like, all right, well, I'm good then. I'm going to go. I'll figure out something else to do. And the guy told me, I'll hear from you in 2 weeks. I said, no, dude, you'll never hear from me again. And so I walked away. I had my level 1.
I like his attitude, though. That's the kind of shit I would talk to.
The guy who was trying to hire me?
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
No, so I did. So I went to the Y, and I was coaching sports. I got
Wait, so you just went straight jobless, and you're like, fuck it, I'll just go apply at the Y as a coach? You just filled out an application, and you're like, look, I'll coach some shit here?
And also, I was a referee. So I had been refereeing at the Y before, just because I like being around sports and stuff. So I was refereeing sports. So I was in the system.
What sports?
I did football, soccer, and basketball. And basketball was one of the toughest things to referee. I think I got run off by a grandma at a U11 girls basketball game. like
you motherfucker, like chasing you to your car?
it was the evilest words that I could hear coming from anyone, and a little grandma was doing it.
Dope. I love it.
She's like, make a call. And I was like, what do you want me to do? And they're holding the ball over their head. And so then once I made contact with the crowd, the woman just would not let me alone, man. She killed me.
Brendan, so I hate to do this to you. You got to hang up again. Sorry. I think eventually this thing resolves itself, but there's a popping. It happens every like 200 or 300 shows for the unlucky one. Did you guys hear? He's sitting there. He must be sitting next to his gym, and he said he saw his daughter run by running her mile.
Yes.
Like, that is awesome. That's a one. How many men, women, parents are sitting somewhere right now? How many people are sitting somewhere right now where they can see their 16-year-old daughter training on a Sun? I mean, these are the things that are correlates to showing that you're giving your kid a better life, that you're doing the right thing. When you're just happen to be sitting somewhere on a Sunday morning and you see your kid training, there's a ton of parents who don't know where their kids are right now, but they're in the room next door watching their 60-inch TV playing some fucking video game with some fucking wackadoodles in fucking Korea or Russia. It's nuts.
Yep. That's my little mamas.
Yeah, dope. Oh, I like the glasses. Your oldest one is 16?
Yeah, she's August. She turned 16. Yeah.
And your youngest one?
She is 14.
Yeah, congrats, dude. You're stoked.
I'm psyched, man. They're awesome little girls.
Okay, so you're a referee at the Y. You don't have the job anymore, and so you just immediately just cruise over. Are you panicked when you lose your job?
Not really. No. I don't. I had kind of a calmness. Really, I kind of thought that I would get into CrossFit because at this point I'd been doing it for a little while, and I had people that would train with me, and I didn't charge anything. I just loved it so much, and I was Captain CrossFit. Anyone that asked me what, like, oh, hey, you want to go do something? Yeah, but have you done CrossFit? Have you ever heard of CrossFit? And it was a little much probably, but it really was the reason that people started following me, is because I loved it so much and it did so many good things for me. But I had a calmness, really. I worked out with another guy at the Y, Jim Hart, who's a special force guy, really driven to get a program started at the Y. We had different kind of visions of like how we wanted to program. I liked the Metcons, and he wanted to do 5 sets of 1 deadlifts and that kind of stuff. So we meshed together and met the fitness director, Katie Wheeler.
Had you ever worked at an affiliate up to this point?
There wasn't affiliates. There was 2 in Charlotte. And they argue over who's first: Ultimate CrossFit and CrossFit Charlotte, Andy Hendel's place.
But up until then, you had only been doing CrossFit at home or at the Y. Like, you would just go to the website and you learned it. You self-taught.
YouTube, yeah, YouTube. And main site and YouTube. Some of your videos with, I guess, maybe Dutch. I don't know, some of those.
Yeah. Oh shit! What year did you start doing CrossFit?
2005, maybe. 4.
Oh shit! So even before you were on the site, before there were videos.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So I remember when I was talking to a guy yesterday that visited, and he's been doing it since 2002 or something. Everyone I introduced him to I said, this guy's been doing CrossFit since 2002. And he's like, why are you telling everybody that? I'm like, because dude, that's impressive, man. You stayed on this methodology for as long as you have. I know you're successful at whatever you're doing.
It's 20 years. Yes. Yep. Yeah. Oh, that's a good correlate too. I see your point. Yeah. What is that guy's vocation? What's that guy do?
He's doing building now, investing in building around Charlotte, like developing homes and townhomes and shit like that.
A go-getter.
He's just, highly driven dude, man. In fact, what's funny? I told him this. His partner worked out with me at, they worked together back in real estate development together around that time. The business plan that they wrote together, his business partner gave me. And so all this stuff happened like organically. This guy comes in and he goes, Lou Andre? And I said, yeah, I know Lou Andre. He gave me his business plan to show me how the potential for growth in a CrossFit would be. It was very aggressive. It was like $1 million business in 1 year. Now in hindsight,
yeah,
I was like, well, that shit ain't happening, but maybe, I don't know. Someone out there probably could do that. But I didn't really even care about making money. I had enough money, you know, and I don't come from money or anything, but I had enough to do the fun things that Ultimate was second. Okay. That's Kevin Bradford, but Ultimate Gym. But
let the argument begin.
I know. I don't, whatever, either one of those. For one A, B, I don't care. But I did visit them once or twice. They just weren't close to me. And I was finding out I could just do it on my own. And really, I was getting people to do, well, kipping pull-ups, butterfly pull-ups, and all that stuff. People were like, what is that? You know, and that's not pull-ups, you know, the whole argument. And then I would do regular pull-ups with them and say, well, I can do regular pull-ups, but I can also do these faster pull-ups for power output, and kind of explain all that side of it without, you know, running them off. But,
what year, how old are you now?
I'm sorry, how old?
Yeah, are you now?
I'm 46. I'll be 46 in December.
So okay, so you found CrossFit when you were about 30, right at 30.
Yeah.
And I'll get you back on track. I know we started a bunch of stories. So
Yes.
how did let's go back to how you found it, and then we'll jump back up to the YMCA.
I found CrossFit from my friend Jake Brown, who was associated with Todd Whitman. So, or I might be pronouncing.
Wow.
So they were associated together. I don't know, in the special force or whatever they were doing. I don't want to.
Yeah, that guy's a serious OG. That's about as hardcore CrossFitter as you get, Todd Whitman.
So I was on an email thread with a 45-day program that Glassman, and I might be butchering what it is, but it was a 45-day austere training schedule. And it was a business week, 5 days a week. You did some lifting with ruck cans, stuff that was relevant to the Canadian Special Force, I think it was for. And so I just followed that program, and I was doing triathlon training too, because I wanted to be competitive, and I didn't know really what avenue to take. And so I ran a 5K. I was probably 245, 250 pounds. You know, I could bench and squat and do all the old stuff, but I did this program. I did a 5K, and it took me 29 minutes. I did the 45-day program, stuck directly to it. Times were, I didn't know what the time should be, except we were emailing back and forth. And so the competition side came out, and someone would say they did the workout in 15 minutes. And then then the next day realize, well, I got to go harder. And so I did. And so I did that. And I cut 5 minutes off my 5K time in 45 days. Still not lose. I still was 235, maybe a few pounds off. Did it again, 45 days straight, and got down to a 19-minute 5K, and still at like 220 pounds. And at that point, I was like,
"Hey, sorry, Brendan. It looks like every 7 minutes we're gonna have to do this." He doesn't even say anything now. I'm sorry, guys. This happens every couple hundred shows. Maybe it's the I don't know. I don't know why. Every couple hundred shows this happens. Okay, so you do this program 45 days, and you'd never heard of CrossFit before, but it cuts 5 minutes off your 5K.
My buddy Jake had told me about CrossFit, and then he sent me the email, and now we're on that email list. Yeah.
What did the program look like in a nutshell? That 45-day Greg Glassman austere program.
Exactly just what you would think. You do
main site.
There was a 5K run one day. There was 15, 12, 9, 3 rounds for time. So different time domains, but it was nice that it was a 5-day business week, because then the weekends were still I could be with the kids and the family and stuff like that. But and it was. And
you were hooked at that point. You were hooked. It got in.
Hooked, and I was mountain biking and thought I was going to be a competitive mountain biker. And then I stopped riding as much, but I did CrossFit, but I would ride now and again, and I was a better rider because of it.
How big are you? You look like a big man in your video. Are you tall?
I'm 6 foot, 6'1", maybe, just a hair over 6 foot. If I had it.
Are you too big to be a mountain bike rider?
Yes, I'm too top heavy. I spent too many years as a younger dude doing bench press and curls and not enough squats.
Oh shit! You found it, Caleb.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Dear Dave Castro, I appreciate you mentioning to the world that the journal will be back in a year and a half.
Yes,
it's too fucking long. Bring it back tomorrow.
I love that. I read the journal as frequently as it came out, and I referenced videos from it. I referenced people to it that were like, "What is CrossFit?" Go to the CrossFit.com. Go to the journal. Read up on the different. It was great. Yep, that's it, man.
I wonder if Dave's running the media team now. You know, he was at my house the other day.
I saw that on your thing, man. I met him once. It was pretty
I
cool.
saw the photo. It was awesome.
It
was awesome. It's just the back of your head. I don't even know for sure if it's you, to be honest.
It was me. He asked me as I was walking by. They did a workout at Vitality. They did one.
He didn't ask you shit. What do you mean you starting the story like that? I was walking by. He asked me something.
Well, so to finish that, he goes, hey, what'd you think of that workout? And I walked by because I don't think he's talking to me. And he goes, hey. And I was like, me? And he goes, yeah, hey, come here. What did you think of that workout? And I told him that it was great. I was like, I think that it was a good mix of the different movements. The guys were, I think it was guys and gals. I can't remember the athletes, but I was like, they showed out. They showed the potential for what we can do. I loved it. He's like, oh, thanks for coming, man. I was like, what?
Wow.
Why are you're thanking me? I thank you for coming.
He was at my house the other day for 30 minutes. He didn't talk to me that much. He came over because it was my kid to say happy birthday to my kids, to Avi. Yeah. Hung out with them for a little bit and then fucking left. I'm like, we're not talking. He's like, nah, I gotta go. I'm like, all right.
He got crushed on your video. The every second counts when I forgot who he shut down when Khalipa won, but or the no. Like, none of those reps count.
Mursky. With Matt Mursky bouncing the bar.
Yes, that's the one.
Would you give those to Mursky? I wanted him to give those to Mursky. In hindsight, I think I was wrong, but at the time I was like, fuck it. I thought it was innovative bouncing the bar.
Well, yeah, but that's the spirit of the games rule that they had to come out with. I mean, I have friends in Charlotte that put on 5-pound plates up to 75 pounds so they could do burpees over a short bar.
Yeah.
Like, come on. I'm like,
yeah. I like the way you called them your friends, though. They're still your friends, but like, hey, man.
Friends. Hey, man, I ain't perfect either.
So you do the austere program. You're like, oh, this shit's awesome. And then your game in that program. So you learned all the movements probably the same way all of us did in the beginning. Like you would see snatch and you'd be like, fuck, what's that? And you'd be scouring the internet for still photos that kind of show like, and the bar muscle up. You're like, what is this even possible? And like, you're just trying to figure all that shit out. And then finally you'd see some little thumbnail, like some videos pop up on .com that were shot in 480. You couldn't even tell if it was a man or a woman doing the workouts. It looked like Atari shit, right?
Yes. YouTube was, I looked up a lot of YouTube for the first probably year. And yeah, pretty much learned through YouTube and whatever was content that was being put out on the main site.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then did you take an L1 or were you teaching at the Y just like, fuck you, I know enough from YouTube?
No, so I took my level 1 when I was at that lumberyard before, and I worked for my friend that owned a bike shop on the weekends to make.
Wow.
Yeah.
What year was that?
2005, 4 or 5 or something like that.
So you went to your L1 and that's when Greg would teach the whole thing?
No, it was, I didn't get it till, well, no, it was over here. I had Chuck Carswell the first time, so that had to be 2008 maybe.
Okay.
It was right before my company got bought out, which was like 2008. So it was Chuck Carswell, Amy. I think she's from Atlanta or Georgia. I can't remember her last name, but I definitely specifically remember
Lisa Ray and Chuck Carswell. Was it Lisa Ray or Jenny Orr?
Yes, she was at the first one. I've done the L1 twice.
Okay.
I did my level 2 recently, but yeah. So I went to I got my level 1 because I was working with my bike shop buddy, and I worked every other weekend for a year and saved up all the money. And I think he assumed I was going to buy a bike from him, and then I was like, "Yo, dog, I need my money, man." He's like, "Wait, what? Are you going to do a EP price on a bike?" And I was like, "No, I'm getting my level 1." So the cool thing is now I leased some space to him in the current spot I'm at. So
you own your building where your gym's at?
I wish I did. No, I leased from my friends that own Sugar Creek Brewery.
And then you sublet to him?
I sublet to him, and I have some couple other people that I lease to. They don't care what I do with the space as long as I pay them. Yeah.
So it sounds like smart people. It sounds like you have what better businesses to be buddy with too, CrossFit gym and a bike shop.
Yeah, and we got a PT. I rent 3 studios to a PT.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
PT, those are chiropractors?
They're sport, chiropractors, but they're sport physicians, I guess they call themselves. They want to separate themselves from that chiropractic.
And why is that? Do you know why?
We've not talked about it, but I assume the old mentality with the chiropractor and the thought of those guys were like to continue to keep you on their program, don't teach you anything, and you have to come see me twice a week for the next 6 months. And they don't want that mentality. They want to give you the tools for you to be able to do it on your own.
I had this chiropractor on the other day, Scott Schur, but he's a physician therapist, helps you perform stretches, exercise, as well as performing some manipulations for certain conditions to improve your mobility. Chiropractors perform manipulation adjustments to help your body. Okay. So with the PT, they tell you to do it, and the chiropractor puts his hands on you and ties you up.
Here's my daughter. She just ran a mile. She does.
Hey, girl.
Hi.
Hey, you must feel good. Are you stoked it's over?
Yeah.
But you did it.
Yeah.
Everyone's stoked it's over.
Just under 10.
Under 10 minutes. Okay, we can get better.
Hey, that's great. Hey.
Good job.
It's amazing. Hey, I want to ask you a question real quick. What's your name? Tell me your name again. Hannah. How old are you?
16.
Why did you run the mile this morning?
Because my coach makes us.
Yeah. And why do you go to your coach? For what sport?
Field hockey.
And why do you play field hockey?
For community. It's through school, so it's fun.
So for friends.
Yeah.
That's how we started the show. Gotcha. You win. Yep. Awesome.
All right.
Good job, girl.
Yeah, good job, Hans. I'll talk to you later. Let me know if you need anything.
That's where we started. It's all about relationships. She's going to hang out with her friends.
Yep.
And the price she pays, you got to run a little.
That's a small price to pay.
I know. And the long-term benefits are like crazy. And what it does to the quality of the relationship with her friends is just skyrocket, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Shared suffering.
Sweat equity.
So you get in there, you're at the YMCA, and you have the difficult discussion with them that they want you to pay your insurance, and you're like, no, put me on your insurance. And and you're like, okay, I'm leaving. And at that point you get the idea that, okay, I'm going to open my own affiliate.
Well, I did, but I didn't have the money or really the knowledge on how to get a lease space. And I coached football in Charlotte, and I coached at this little, my neighbor's son played football, and she said, hey, would you want to coach football? Holy Trinity is the name of it. It's a feeder program for a powerhouse football team in Charlotte Catholic. And you go coach 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. So she said, if you do it, you got to commit that you're going to be here for the 3 years. And I was like, well, I do like football. I had daughters, but I was like, I still want to be around football. I'll help them when they get to the sport that they play. But so the point of that is the guy that I coached, a father of one of the sons I coached, called me when the Y was telling me they didn't want to pay me insurance, and he was opening what was called the Rugby Athletic Center, and they were going to be opening a CrossFit gym. And he said, I called him, he left a message and said he needed a personal trainer. He was lying. He didn't want me as a trainer, but this guy's a ranger and he's a doer. So he knew that I knew CrossFit. He knew that he wanted CrossFit in his rugby center. And he had me come over and visit, and I ended up getting employed by the people that he brought in to run a CrossFit in the Rugby Athletic Center. So all these things just happened to be like line up like that. He called me almost like within a month of whenever they told me they wouldn't pay me insurance. And then I took over what was called the South Tryon CrossFit. So Try CrossFit is what we called it. But I kept the affiliate in my. They transferred it from the Harris YMCA CrossFit to South Tryon CrossFit. So I was still working for someone, but I did have insurance.
And you took those jobs simultaneously, the job of being the football coach, the football coach and the rugby and the coach and the CrossFit coach for the rugby team?
That was 10 years prior. I coached 10 years prior. And then I talked to him periodically, see him at the Panthers games or something like that. But it was 10 years later, and he said, hey, I need a coach over here. Can you help these guys come up to the market? There was a group, Kennard Lang's ex-wife. She came up from Orlando that worked. She had worked out at a gym down in Florida, and she was moving to Charlotte. And she wanted to open a gym, had money to invest for a long time. So I was the one that was the local contact to get people to come over to the west side of town, which is not in the same. People say, like, can you go from this area to another area? It takes time to build it up again. And everyone at the Y, which I had at that point, after about a year, we were nearly a year, I probably had 130 people. And of those 130, I was telling them I'm going to have to leave because they're not paying me insurance. And they, 80% of them were like, we're with you. And then when it came down to it, when I moved over to the other side of town, 40% maybe came, just because the area was very not developed. I was running off, like, people sharing needles and sharing whatever else goes along with that trade in the morning, watching the people go on their 400-meter run with the door open. Like, I might have to run up here and chase some hood dude or people off, or whatever. Like,
What was that place called? Well,
it was the Rugby Athletic Center.
And did they actually have an affiliate? So you went from the YMCA to the Rugby Athletic Center, and did they actually call it a CrossFit gym?
Yeah, it was South Tryon CrossFit. I changed my name. I don't remember who I talked to, but the lady was sweet. I told her the situation, and then she was like, South Tryon CrossFit you can use it, transfer it from the Harris Y. And the Harris Y tried to bully me into giving them the affiliate. And I said, well, you can keep me here with the affiliate if you pay me insurance. And
hey, more brilliant shit by Greg Glassman.
Yes, exactly.
More brilliant. If you don't hear what he just said, if you're an affiliate owner, you heard what he just said.
Mm-hmm.
More brilliant shit. I don't know if that kind of shit still is intact. And I know I can't champion Paula. What's Paula's Paula Gravatt enough to make sure that shit worked out for affiliates. Do you remember her, Paula Gravatt? She was second in command over there at the affiliate team under Kathy Glassman. But basically what he just said was that even though he's at the Y, CrossFit made sure that the trainer there owned the gym. So if the people where you were at ever fucked with you, you had the legal right, and CrossFit would have your back to just take your shit and leave.
So
because Greg knew the trainer was putting in the work.
100%. And so it got pretty tumultuous at the end as they snuck me in I walked in one day, normal, my 443.
At the Y.
At the Y. I did my 443 wake up, all happy and jolly. I get to go coach everybody and whatever. And they have a board set up. And I don't know. I walk into the front of the building and they stop me and go, hey, come into this room over here. There's like 8 or 10 people sitting in the front of the room and they have a chair. And I'm like being interviewed by 8 people with no prior, they didn't tell me I was having a meeting. And I'm like, I said, what the fuck is this? And they're all like,
you got interventioned on.
Yeah, I was like, they're like, this. I'm like,
I quit doing drugs 20 years ago.
What did I do? I was like, what's going on here? And they were trying to bully me into keeping the affiliate. And I said, well, I'm not going to do that unless you pay me insurance. And they said, well, why do you think I was having so much success that the other trainers were telling on me, like the traditional trainers?
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Yeah. And that's Glassman went through that. Like, you could run off all the spaces, but they sat me down. And one of the questions they asked is, why do you think CrossFit is working and successful? And when do you think it started? And I said, well, probably, I don't know, a couple thousand years ago when people started squatting, lifting, and pushing things overhead. And one of the board members reminded me of that years later. He said, I fucking almost lost my shit when you said that. He said, it was the best response for the situation you were put in at the time. And I was like, I never thought about it before until that person asked me at that time, under that stressful condition.
I mean, Greg would say that all the time, right? I didn't invent shit.
He put it together, but yeah, that's
he would say, hey man, these are whatever you believe, these were created by God or evolution, but these movements are what he would do. I think the phrase he would use, part and parcel with your DNA.
There it is.
Right.
Yep. So I was working at the rugby center then, and it was going at the rate when they hired me. I told the owner, who was a silent owner, and then I forget her name, but anyway, we can leave her out. But she expected, like anyone that's naive to it, 1 million people in the first month, or, like, oh, we just slap CrossFit on and it happens. And again, we were in a kind of diverse area, and not everybody was comfortable coming to that side of town. And I said, we had a 10,000 square foot facility. And I said, this is probably an 18-month build out, 2 years probably, to make back what you're paying. They were paying A class rates, $36 a square foot. And I just, quick math, we had about 85 people right away, first month.
Wow.
From my people that I knew. And then I also had, at that time, met a lot of more CrossFit.
And was the entire rugby team doing it?
So here's the deal. They built it as they were expecting the Old Boys, which is a Charlotte Rugby Club, to move their group down there and then immediately us pick them up. Well, they own their own building up on a west side of town. And they were like, well, we already have a building. We're not coming there. And so that kind of slowed the process down as well. And we were visiting schools. I was going to high schools and reaching out to any coach that would listen to me, like, hey, let's come over. We got this great facility. And it was going really at the trajectory that I thought. We probably ended at 150 when the lady got too scared and didn't really want to do work. She wanted me to be, I was the general manager, she was the owner, so I was supposed to do all the work. But me and another
What do you
guy,
mean too scared? You mean the business was so big that it scared her?
she was just too scared
So
to put
she was
herself,
afraid of success?
she was too scared to put herself out there. And this girl was a heptathlete. If she walked into a room, she was the fittest person in the room. And I don't want to use her name, and I
But I still don't understand what she was afraid of. I understand when people are afraid of success, but she was already 100. Weren't you the face of it?
I was the face of it, but she would attract more clientele if she went with me to places.
Right. Okay. Fair.
And she's more attractive too. That helps.
Yeah. Great athlete, attractive.
Yeah. And she just wasn't outgoing. And I think like you said, it's a relationship thing. If you're not willing to put yourself out there, then you're going to get what you put out. If you don't put yourself enough out there, then that's what she saw. Is she continued to hole up instead of embrace this group of people that was coming in. They're like, well, who's the owner? People would ask me, who's the owner? Oh, she's sitting in the office back there. And when she would work out, she had fun with everybody, but she just, I don't know. She had been through a divorce, so she was maybe not in a good place. And I can get that, but I think that the benefit of her being out around the community would have only make your life more fruitful, but it didn't work out. Whatever, that didn't work out. She moved on and sold to another guy that had a whole different vision of what he
So
wanted.
you worked at a gym that you put your blood and sweat into, and the owner sold it.
Correct.
And that's got to be tough. That's freaky. That reminds me of my journey at CrossFit.
Yeah, you got hosed.
Okay.
But
I like this story. What year is this that she sells it?
2000. Well, we've been 7 years, so 7.5 years ago, whatever, 2016 or something.
Okay. And did you not gel with this dude shortly after he bought it? You rolled?
It wasn't well, he just had a different vision. When he came in, he's like, I want a CrossFit Games team. I want to be the baddest gym on the planet.
Was his name Andrew Hiller?
Yes. No.
Okay.
I mean, I also wanted the baddest gym, but the bread and butter is your mom and pops that come in. And I said, well, we can get there, but we've got to maintain and not run off. He owned a grid league team. He bought the Carolina. Oh shit! What was it? Carolina. It was like the Grizzlies or some silverback. He thought he was bad. I don't know. He just had a different vision, man. He wanted a CrossFit Games team perennially, and he was willing to pay athletes to come in. And I was like, that's fine, you can do that, but we have to run it as we make money with all the mom and pops. The pro athletes, they ruin equipment, they want to pay less, and they demand more of your time. I said, I need to have, mom and pops in here. And so it didn't take long. My partner, Colby Harden, and I brought him over from the Y with me. We both got paid from the Rugby Athletic Center, South Tryon. He left earlier. He wasn't getting paid as much as me, and I wasn't getting paid a lot, but it was enough to do what I'd like to do, have fun and whatever. But this guy came in and said, you have to be here all day long from sun up to sundown. And I was like, well, the middle of the day, there's 1 to 3. No one, we might get 1 or 2 people to work out, but you're talking about someone that should sit at the desk, not like a coach all day, or you got to pay like a coach. And in quick order, it didn't work. He had way different view of what he wanted versus what I was looking for.
And so you split.
So
did you think at that point to leave the whole CrossFit shit altogether? Like, okay, I'm going back I'm going to call that dude at the lumberyard and be like, you were right.
Hell no. That dude is never getting a call back unless I tell him how successful I've been. But no, so he keeps me on, but he's bringing in managers while I'm there. He's interviewing people and driving them up. And like, he's done pretty well. He's a wealthy dude. He pick people up in like a 6 Series or Lamborghini or some shit and bring them into the gym, and they'd walk them around and then introduce, like, nonchalant, hey, this is so-and-so. They're just looking around. And he ended up hiring this lady, and I'll leave her name out too, because she kind of got hosed and used too in this situation. But she came in and she befriended me. I really don't like what she did. She befriended me and was asking me about him. I was like, the guy's a fucking douchebag. I hate this guy. Like, I don't want to work for him. We don't even think the same thing. And I just didn't really have the money or the balls at that time to leave. And so one day I show up again, another carpet is pulled out from underneath me. She goes, hey, I need you to sign this paperwork. I need you to sign this that you're going to leave, and we'll pay you this amount of money, but you have a no compete clause for 5 miles. And I was like, I'm not signing that. I was like, this is where I created this environment and created this side of town. So no. And she's like, and again, back to, you're going to leave the affiliate. And I said, no, I'm not. That's not happening. I've already gone down this road, and I'm not signing.
And you were the LEO of that affiliate too?
I brought
what is it? Am I saying, is it LOE, letter of what's the 3-letter thing that they use?
I just owned the affiliate. I don't know what.
I can't believe I forget. LOR.
LOR.
LOR. That's what it is. That's what the acronym is. Basically, your CrossFit Inc. has you as the owner of the affiliate.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he tried to bully me too into taking it. And I said, well, you ain't getting it. And so she said, if you don't sign this paperwork, then, and I go, you're firing me. And she goes, no. And I said, well, then I'm not signing your paperwork. She goes, well, I said, I almost said her name. I said, you need to tell me that you're firing me, because I'm not walking away from that. I'll sign this, but you need to say it, and I'm going to record you. You're telling me I'm fired. And she said, and shook her head. I said, no. I ain't no dummy. I said, look, man, I said, you need to say that you're firing me. And she said, all right, you need to get your stuff. You're fired. I was like, all right, cool. I'm out. And so as the end of that was happening, because I obviously see the writing on the wall.
Hey, exactly you are telling to a T. Same story of what happened in 2018 when Greg brought in a new piece of shit CEO from outside the company. Then he sold the company in 2020, and I cannot tell you how stupid the people who came in. I cannot tell you how dumb Eric Rosa is, or Andrew Weinstein. I mean, you wouldn't even believe it if I told you. I mean, you can go back and listen. It is because they don't even know what they bought.
Right.
It's like what happened to that guy's grid league. What happened to hit the grid league is basically the trajectory. I actually think Don's going to save this fucking thing. I actually fucking think Don's going to save it. But for 2 years, 15,000 affiliates have been on an airplane pointed straight at the fucking ground, dude.
Yeah.
It's been fucking crazy to watch from the outside. Just like what happened to the grid league. The grid league was on the launch pad with full thrust and just fucking imploded 10 feet off the ground. I mean, it was, thank God the CrossFit brand is so strong. It feels like it could withstand anything.
I didn't mind the grid league.
I didn't mind it either, but I'm just saying the world wasn't ready for it. For whatever reason, it just imploded. I mean, it was a complete money pit. This guy bought
the entire grid league. They had the championship in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Bojangles Coliseum, and we went. He bought the entire setup, all the weights, all the Eleco equipment. So the guy had stupid money.
Yeah.
He just was.
And good on him.
Yeah, I mean, he's successful.
But the stories I've heard, people lost millions and millions. That this thing was just a fucking.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he probably did. But $1 million to him is,
right.
Like whatever. It's like
Oh.
a roll of dice, and let's see if we make some money. But
hey, why not at that time? Why not? Let me ask this. Why not just be like, okay, I'm gonna do what this guy wants. I'm gonna get the paycheck. I'm gonna just like ride this out and see what happens. Maybe double my pay.
Well,
Build
that
you didn't want
wasn't
to. Yeah,
being
okay.
offered.
Okay.
That wasn't being offered. He was pretty much going to put me as just a hourly coach. That's what they
Okay.
wanted me to do.
Okay. You're right. And you expressed that. And that's the same thing that happened at CrossFit too. They thought that they could bring in Stanford MBAs or Harvard MBAs who would know better, but they didn't understand the business model. You weren't selling M&Ms. Okay.
Well, that's the deal. Like,
Yeah,
people were
okay.
there because of,
Got it.
not to be arrogant, but they were there for me, not for
Right.
shiny,
Right.
Greek
Right.
league shit.
Right.
So they fired me, and I took unemployment for. I was like, you know what? You're gonna fuck me like that, then I'm taking unemployment. And I had been working on. Hopefully, this doesn't come back to bite me. But I'd been talking with a couple of our clients that were wanting to start a CrossFit gym, including my girlfriend and another partner of mine who is a accountant. Best combo there. My girlfriend likes me, loves CrossFit, and I have an accountant on staff. So we put that down a business plan, and we had another business partner at the time, but we put down a plan. We knew X amount of money. We all put in this amount of money. This is how much we need. The first 35 people is this, and it was perfect. My accountant kept me in check when I was trying to buy more equipment, and it just rolled. And again, it went back to, it felt like a treehouse.
How does that work? He's a strong dude or a strong gal, and they just say no. They just like, I mean, the trust has to be there, right? It has to be someone who.
Yeah, he had been training with me for probably about a year, and I, like most affiliate owners, who bullshit and don't bullshit. Like,
Brendan, you will not be getting a reverse hyper for 3 years. Stop it. Clear that out of your fucking mind.
Well, but then on the same time, he would look and see at the books and go, yo, we have a surplus. It's time. If you need to buy stuff, let's go.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I had, and he traded, time. And so I didn't have to pay an accountant, which I don't even know the cost of what that would be, for a year's work.
Dude,
whatever.
for someone you trust, it's fucking, there is no number.
That's exactly right. It was perfect. The perfect match. And he's also a very social guy, and I am too. So we would also break bread with all the clients, and we were all, so not only was it me that's the face of like running all the classes, but he was there as a co-owner or a 3-4 person, a quarter owner, and the other owners, we all worked out. We did the same workouts that everybody did. So if not only the owners are doing the workouts and working out and sweat equity together, like, you're also going out, we're going to dinner together, we're going to have drinks together. And it was a big family, man. It was, and it still is, actually. That's why we've been successful.
And that's the gym you have today?
CrossFit Mech, yeah.
And same location? You moved from the rugby place to this place, and you've been in that location ever since?
That's, no, this is in Sugar Creek's warehouse space. We moved to a really affordable, shitty building. There was bees, and that one was even in a worse area than the rugby center. I literally was kicking the door open and like having to almost move people that were doing illicit shit.
Squatters,
man, just turn the lights on, the cockroaches ran. Eventually, when you turn the lights on enough, they don't come back. Yeah. And but there was needles, there was everything you can think of that would go along with that trade.
Bees and needles.
So, but the price was right. It was $7 a square foot for 3,500 square foot. And we got lucky on a Friday when the inspector came through. We had offices up front. The inspector came in and was like, well, what's going on in the warehouse back here? And he goes, oh, they just need the office space in the front. So he kind of stretched the truth a little bit. And we got our CO, our occupancy, based on it being an office building. And then once we got to occupancy, we just kept on rolling, and the fire marshal was like, whatever, you guys can do that in the back. So we were there for 5 years. The building got sold out from underneath us, even though we offered the building owner $1 million when we moved in.
Wow.
And so that's based on, that number is based on what we saw the potential for our growth over the next 3, 5, 7 years from my accountant. And we were going to sublease the other space. There was already tenants over there. And the guy was like, I want a 5-year valuation on this property. And we're like, well, then can you counter us on what you want? And he's like, 5-year valuation. And we're like, that doesn't give us any number. We found out that our building was sold. They bought, this group, Park Commercial, bought the building next to us. I'm sending people out on a 400-meter run. And this guy comes over and goes, I just want to let you know, you'll see some people coming through here. We bought your building. And I said, what are you talking about? No, the guy said he wouldn't sell for whatever. And he goes, well, we bought it. So, we'll need to talk about how long we'll fulfill your lease obligation that we have, but we'll need to talk about, the future. We're planning on revitalizing this and making it more of a, more expensive space. And I was like, well, how expensive? And of course the number was not feasible. And I'd been running a boot camp class at the brewery at Sugar Creek, and for about 6 or 8 months. So I'd become pretty good friends with the owner, and his wife worked out with me. He got deployed. He was the brewery's veteran owned. One's a Marine, and one is a
Sugar Creek
Brewery. Yeah. One was a Marine, and he was injured in war. The other, Joe Vogelbacher, is one of 20 master cicerones in the world, which is the nerdiest beer thing that you can get, like a sommelier. But there's only
how many are there?
There's only 20. He was the 19th.
Wow.
So the sommeliers, there's thousands of them. The beer, there's only 20, and he's one of them.
What's the guy's name again?
Joe Vogelbacher.
Joe Vogelbacher at Sugar Creek.
Yeah. So he's a nuclear engineer, went to Kings Point, and moved down here. Really cool story. Moved down because his sister was sick and needed to kind of be closer to her and help the family out. And they grew up in Charlotte, moved to Jersey or whatever, came back, but he opened a brewery so that he could help his sister, be close to her. And
should I have that guy on the podcast, Joe?
You should have him on. He is, that's him right there. Yeah. He can be a knucklehead with me doing weights, but he is like ridiculously smart.
Yeah.
And so we did that rowathon that he's talking about. It's been 3 years, and we did the first one during COVID. In 2020, we went against whatever people were telling us. And we did, I think we had 20 people on 2 people boats. We raised about $5,000 in 2 weeks. And then now, like this third year, we raised $75,000.
Wow.
Yeah, $75,000. We had 75 boats in that space that you had pulled up a second ago. And it was just us pulling from the CrossFitters and whatever else we have other friends that do other events like biking and shit like that. And then the bike shop's daughter is on the rowing, Charlotte Youth Rowing. So we got a bunch of rowers from that. We had a guy that was on the rowing, like go to the Olympics or something like that. But he was
so you were in the B crack house. It got bought, and then you had to move, and you're like, fuck, well, we do a boot camp at Sugar Creek, and this cat's like, hey, just bring your whole fucking show over here.
Well, that was our initial move. We wanted to move in there, but there was some fire protection shit that we had to have done. And so after 2020, and because I have my accountant on staff, and I pay myself frugally, I don't, my money that I make is because I see people like doing really well and healthy, getting healthy. And that sounds, I don't know, cliche, but it is 100% true. And so we positioned ourselves with a lot of money in the bank. We bought out our 4th partner in 2020. And then we also had to find another.
Was that friendly when you did that? Was that?
I mean, we just.
Do you approach them and be like, hey, we don't want you anymore? Or do they say, hey, I'm ready to sell?
They disagreed with the COVID protocols.
Oh shit, I love
Yeah.
this story. God, I love this story already. Oh
Yeah,
my
he's
goodness, I can't wait
he's
to
a-
hear this. Can I hear
he's-
this story?
He's a good dude, man. I don't.
Okay.
There was
Can you tell
also,
a gentle version where he doesn't get fucking run over by the bus too hard?
yeah. There was some social issues too with the Floyd 19. So it was a
Oh my goodness, I love it. I fucking love it. I
snowball
love it.
effect
Yes.
of those two things, and it
Yes.
yeah, dude. Again, like my thought was for 2 months, every other partner has a different job, but this is my main source of income, and I say that I can live off of hugs and making everybody, fit and everything. That's my money, but I still need to have some money.
Right.
And I got bashed for reopening early before North Carolina let us open, and we did outside WODs. But I would
When you say bash by who? Just the people in the community, the psychopaths, the germaphobes, the idiots, the people who can't do simple math, the people who refuse to take personal responsibility and accountability for their own fucking lives. Sorry.
Correct.
Go on. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it was strange to people that would have, like, friends that trained with me for years that didn't maybe come over to the new spaces that I was coaching at. I got texts were like, "You're fucking wrong. I can't believe you're doing this. You're fucking wrong." And I would just say, well, I hope that you're finding a good fitness program and you should continue doing fitness.
Have they apologized since you were right now?
No, and I'm
not one, huh? Not one.
No, and I don't. When I see them, I ask how they're doing, and I hope everything's great. I don't bring up what that is. And
good.
But with the buyout of that guy, there was the roll up of the Floyd 19 comment, which he wanted me to drop the affiliate. Like, that's just not. Oh, that's Marty Graham. Yeah, I love Marty. Oh, he's got Hiller Fit on his thing.
Marty, no one's perfect. Your picture's fucked up, but other than that, you're a good dude.
He's a good dude, man. Marty is. He's a Masters athlete. He's kicking butt. He moved out to.
He's a Masters athlete and he likes Hiller. Wow, savage.
Yeah,
Wait till he makes a video on you, Marty.
No,
he ass pounds you, buddy.
We used to call Marty mobility. We had Monday mobility with Marty Marr, and he would do all the what's the guy? Supple Leopard.
Kelly, Mr. Starrett.
Yeah, Starrett. Yeah, he would be back there doing all the Starrett shit. And I was like, he's like, "Can I do this in the back?" We had a small space at that time, so it was not big. But I was like, "You can get people to do the mobility with you, all the better, because we all need it." And
yeah.
But anyway, Marty Marr is the man. I miss him. He moved to Montana, I think.
So one of your owners wanted you to tell CrossFit to go fuck himself because Greg Grassman wrote Floyd 19. And for those of you who don't know what Floyd 19 is, it was basically Greg's statement to the world saying, like, hey, the same people who are trying to give you the rules of what racism is and how we should respond to it are now trying to give you COVID protocol. And since then, 2 years later, we know millions of people have died, and Greg was right.
Yes. And I didn't do it. I did put out, I didn't do a black screen or any of that, but I did put a video out on CrossFit Mech, I believe, before he asked me to do this, and said, we have a very, very diverse crowd. We have every ethnicity, religion, sex, whatever. And I put out a video and said, if you're labeling me, and I don't even think Greg did anything wrong, but if you think he did something wrong and you're bashing me, you don't even know me. You've worked out with me for X amount of time. You've seen the clientele that I have in here, and I treat everybody the same. So if you're not basing it on who I am, then I don't need you. I don't want you at my space.
Fair.
And, so I never did any of the black screens or any of that. I just do the right people.
Yep. I like
right
it.
For people that you're supposed to treat people how you want to be treated.
Yep.
Anyway, and then so they have jobs and I have to work. I'm at home and I'm riding my bike and every day, and like to just be around people. Like, to your point, whenever I go in, my members are my training partners. They're my friends. They're my training partners. And so I don't get to see them for 2 months. I'm starting to get kind of like really antsy and like, what the fuck am I going to do next? And I start just going to ride my bike on all these greenways to be around people, to see people, and I'm waving at everybody. The kid on the boat that's like, hey, boat over there, hi.
Yeah,
you know, and
yeah.
I
Just
wanted
starve
to-
for some fucking human interaction.
100%, dude.
Yeah.
And then eventually I did it it was 2 months. I was like, man, this is crazy, man. I have to get people back in the gym. 80% of our people stayed on. I loaned all of our equipment out. We had nothing. I still kind of get like a little emotional about that.
Because why?
Well, I don't know if we're ever going to be able to like open back up.
You're not open now?
We are open now.
But at the time.
Well, I don't know what, I didn't know what was going to happen. And I got people telling me to stay closed, and it was not good. But we opened back up, and I was like, if you're comfortable.
Why so emotional? People you loved were throwing rocks at you. People you'd give your life for were fucking saying shit to you and it just fucking hurt. Yeah.
Sucked.
Yeah.
But still. Sorry.
You did the right thing. You know that.
I do. But
hold on. I want to write one thing down.
Okay.
How many of your members died because you opened back up?
Thanks. I needed that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was tough, man. But I think of what I was getting to back before that. We positioned ourselves well. We ended up buying another gym out that, and man, over the course of the time that we were
during that time, like a gym that couldn't survive the pandemic, you bought them out.
They were one of the gyms that was the badass gym, the gym that had the affiliate teams, were the most competitive, and they would, there's 3 different gyms in Charlotte. When I first opened, a longtime gym that used to do, I don't want to get into negative shit, but
okay, fine.
But this guy told a friend of mine that worked out with me, tell Brendan whenever his stuff doesn't work that I'll buy all his equipment. I opened an affiliate. And this dude says, you are not going to be successful. I'm going to buy all your shit. I would take less money to prove him wrong and make sure that I kept people moving. And then another guy called us a dive bar gym, and I took that and we came out with a weightlifting team, and we have now the dive barbell weightlifting.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I fucking love it.
And so we bought out this gym that was this like uber competitive gym.
And this was the guy that was supposed to buy your shit, but you bought his shit.
That was another dude. I bought out this other gym that was in close proximity that used to tell that gym told people, that's not a real CrossFit affiliate. That's not a real CrossFit gym. You're doing something else. You're not doing CrossFit. I'm like, I don't know why they're saying that. If you want to go that route, I see people that go into that competitive side that burn the fuck out. And so if that's what you want the sports side of it, I may not be the right place for you. But if you want to come in every day and feel the treehouse effect, then I'm the place for you. And it's not for today, tomorrow. It's for your life. I'm not looking for you to, go to the games. But if you do, that's badass. But I want you to be healthy for the rest of your life. I want you to have tools in your box that maybe in a year you learn everything and you could go teach a bunch of people how to be fit. Then I've done my job. And now I'm helping everybody get fit and healthy.
What's crazy about what you're saying too, though, is it's so understated. If you work out at CrossFit Mecklenburg, when you walk into a Walmart, you're still the fucking fittest person in there.
Yes.
By far. When you go to the fucking hospital for whatever fucking reason, you're still the fittest person amongst all. You can't even fucking believe your baseline is so fucking high. The rest of the world can't even. There's stuff that you do at the worst CrossFit gyms in the world that would fucking break 50% of society. They would fucking die if they did it. And it's nuts that anyone would poo-poo any gym, because the difference between the competitive gyms, the glass ceiling of the competitive gyms is so small. There's nowhere to grow.
No.
There's nowhere to grow. You go to a gym. I mean, your average Tom, you're a person at your gym who walks in grows more in a week than the best athletes at HWPO will grow in the rest of their career. And it's just like,
oh yeah, great point.
It's like, it's fucking crazy that people don't see that.
That's the
they're not the real CrossFit gyms if they don't see that.
Yes, and that's why they failed. They made competitor. There's an argument over should you have a competitive
And I'm okay with the competitive gyms the same way you are. You said you're fine with it. I'm actually excited by them. I love the fact that Hiller wanted the fittest gym in the planet. Good. That's dope.
I think it's great. And if that's their ethos, then they stay with it 100%. My mentality when I started was, and I was not in great shape when I started, so I can empathize with, the people that are getting off the couch. I had a really big transition from that 90 days. I lost, I lost probably 50 pounds and 15% body fat. I was fucking ripped, dude. And
I saw.
Yeah, that's the shit.
Crazy.
Better glasses, less hair, but whatever. Better abs.
God, you look so much better on the left. Holy shit.
Saying, I could knock out probably 24 wings on the right, but that's not impressive. Certain crowd, I still probably could do that. Though.
Hey, going back to the member, the owner that you bought out. So basically, he wanted you to stay shut because he thought opening the gym, it became so contentious that he thought maybe you were killing people, when actually we know in hindsight it's the other way around. The people who were quarantining were killing all the people, and you wanted to, and the other 3 people were like, hey, we see something wrong here. The math doesn't make sense.
Correct. He's back with us now.
As a member.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Does
I love it.
Do those people know that they were wrong? Have they figured it out? Or do they?
Know. And I don't want to have the conversation. Like they can
I understand. They don't owe. I know they don't owe anyone anything. But even today, like yesterday, I sent something to one of my friends, a close friend, about an athlete who had dropped from myocarditis, just collapsed on the field and died. And they're like, holy shit. They go, you think this is vaccine related? I go, dude, I'm getting 5 of these a day. I'm in a doctor's group thread. And they're like, I've never even heard of this. And I'm like, wow, there's people who still don't know what the fuck's going on.
I know. Yeah. I'm not sure they think if they're right, they're in their mind, then they're right.
Fuck. I hope they're right. I hope I'm wrong.
No, I think that I'm doing the right thing by keeping people moving.
Yes, you are. You absolutely are. And you're doing the right thing by staying out of the swamp. Your job is to keep people moving, and keep the place open.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we bought out.
Let dogs like me swim in the mud.
I don't. Yeah, you have a good way of doing it. It's entertaining. I like it.
So you make it past the pandemic. You go down to 3 owners now.
You're down to 3 owners: my girlfriend, myself, and Michael Banks is he's my accountant.
I'm gonna ask you something crazy personal.
Okay.
Why aren't you getting married again?
Oh, I didn't say I never. Maybe I did say I never would again. Yeah, I don't know.
I can't believe I got married the first fucking time. I'm married. I only did it because if I died, I just wanted her to get all this shit because we had a kid.
Couldn't you do
but
that
now I'm glad we got married.
Couldn't you do a living will and do the same thing?
Probably.
But I don't know. I would marry.
I just asked because you've been with her a long time now.
Yeah, about 8 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
It never really comes up. I think we have a good thing, so why fuck it up with something?
Yes,
arbitrary.
I agree.
I got rings, but what is that?
I 100% agree. My wife and I didn't have a wedding. Went to the courthouse. She doesn't have a wedding ring.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Okay. Because it doesn't come up. It's not a thought you have.
No, I mean, and she's not put any pressure on me or anything like that. And we're both older. We both have not adult kids, but older kids. I don't know. Let it be how it is. It's cool. So
yes.
But not to say maybe in the future. I don't know. I didn't never really think about it.
Okay. I was at a dinner one night. And I was with my current wife and the media director at the time, Tony Budding. We were at a sushi dinner. there was like fucking 10 people there, a bunch of executives in the company. And he goes, "Hey, everyone. You want to know how big of a pussy Sevan is?"
Oh,
And I'm
no.
like, "Oh, where's this going?" And my girlfriend's right next to me, right? And he goes, "He's been with fucking Haley for 15 years and he hasn't asked her to marry her."
Oh,
I was like, damn.
that hurts.
Damn.
Yo,
Yeah, I just
bro.
made up on the fly. "Hey, dude," I just yelled back at him. "Hey, dude, I've asked her to marry me 5 times and she's always said no."
Is that true?
No, I just made that up.
That's good.
But just as like, hey, like, you don't know. You don't know.
I don't know. I hope she doesn't listen to the show now. Now maybe I will get pressure.
Oh, no. It sounds like you got a great girl.
No, Chris.
I just wonder how people decide to get married or not get married.
I think it just is that societal norm that you got to go to college. Well, do you have to go to college? And you have to get married. Do you have to get married? I don't know. Like, we just fall into that, like, this is the way things fall and you have to do this. Like, my mom used to ask me when I was working at a restaurant. I worked at a 5-star restaurant in college. I wore a bow tie and all, like, it was a nice restaurant. And I probably made more money at that restaurant than what I made in the beginnings of my CrossFit career. My mom would go, "When are you going to get a real job?"
Oh, yeah. I still
like,
get
what are you
that. I'm
talking
50.
about, Mom?
Yeah.
Look at these green. I got money. What are you talking about? They pay me.
My mom wanted me to work at Starbucks so I could get health insurance so bad. I was like 33.
Well, don't go to the Y for it.
Man, it was crazy. I think that I don't know what a successful relationship is, but I do know that, like, I view my relationship with Haley, that's my current wife, because we got married, or my girlfriend, you can call her whatever you want, but is like the most successful thing I've done in my life. Like, just to be friends with someone for 8 years is like incredible.
Yo, for sure.
Because you have to go through shit.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's and you have to navigate the two most advanced things on the planet, have to navigate and still get along and work together. And so once you're with someone for, like, I feel like 5 years, man or woman, but especially woman, you've navigated some shit.
I'm lucky. I'm very lucky.
Yeah. I never hear women say that. It's always us who says that.
We're a dime dozen, man. They got a lot of dudes around, man. Shit.
How has anyone at your gym lost 100 pounds in the 10 years you've been doing this? You ever seen a 100-pound weight loss?
Yes. One of my, this kid Keon lost probably 90 pounds, around 100. I think I like the loss of pounds, but I really like whenever I've heard people, and when it really resonated that this shit works is diabetes, like, or I'm pre-diabetic, a guy tells me. And I was like, well, shit, then let's just work out hard. And he gets put on medicine. And I said, well, just keep working out with me. Or no, he doesn't get put on medicine. They want him to go on. And he goes, I want to try to figure it out fitness wise. He goes back in 90 days to the same doctor. And the doctor's like, we're going to have to run. You have to come back tomorrow. The tests are way skewed. And he's like, what do you mean? He goes, well, you're no longer pre-diabetic, and also your high blood pressure is gone. And that can't be right. And the guy's like, well, no, I've been exercising. So what do you mean? And the doctor couldn't believe that in 90 days that he didn't need medicine. He wanted my athlete, John, to go on medicine so bad that he didn't believe his own tests. And that's happened dozens of times where people get off medicine.
God, that's so great.
It is. That was at the Y. That was one of my first clients that I met. I still see him around, but I met him when I was really fit. I would go in, and early on, I would get clients at the Y, not only by like helping coach in class, but I would do the executive hour. I would go in the sauna, and I was fucking ripped and just wearing a towel. People were like, what do you do, man? And I would tell him kind of like the rundown, and then he was one of them. And then he was a good soundboard because he did lose about 30 pounds, got off of blood pressure medicine and all that. And then he would just recruit people for me. Like he would go recruit, and I didn't have to do it as much. Or like, hey, this is Brendan. This is the guy that helped me get, off of the medicine, and it snowballed. I mean, it was that kind of stuff where I had success because people had success.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love hearing that. And CrossFit's been through a lot. I guess not necessarily. I guess you could be a trainer, kept your head down, and just done, fucking God's work for 20 years and not have seen any of the drama. But at some level, there's been a lot of drama over the years, right? Everything from Greg starting the company and telling people to squat below parallel, which was crazy. Then,
I love that. I love that when that came up.
then the divorce with his wife and her trying to take the company, and then
what about that black box?
The black box thing, Dave and Tony brawling with Everett and James Fitzgerald. God, that just seems like nothing compared to some of the shit that's happened now. I think Dave called Greg Everett a fat fuck or something from the audience.
Get off stage and let's go outside. Weren't they going to go outside and throw it down?
I think they had a little chat outside, maybe. Then you get to the Floyd 19 stuff, and then you get the pandemic, and what do you?
All along
go
the
ahead.
way, during all of those different like little flare-ups.
Yeah,
I just was like, I bought an affiliate and I pay my affiliate fee. Leave me the fuck alone. Really. Like,
why pay your affiliate fee then? Why pay it? Why didn't you de-affiliate?
Well, I didn't de-affiliate because
go ahead.
It's my advertising dollars. We did one Groupon when we first opened, but I just considered $3,000 like my marketing dollars for the year. And when
you love the brand, just having the sign on the front, CrossFit Mecklenburg, you're like, boom, I'm getting my value.
If people Google search, we have a pretty good Google search and reviews and everything, and Yelp and all that shit. And so, I mean, if that's what I got to pay, as long as I don't have to sell McRibs for 2 months out of the year, I'm selling squats, deadlift, and press, constantly varied high intensity functional movements. Leave me alone. Let me do it my way. But if they start dictating Mondays we have to do this, Tuesdays we have to do that, then I'm out. But it's a value for me just with the name, the brand, CrossFit.
And what does the brand? So you're kind of in the Craig Howard school. I don't know if Craig Howard's the owner of Diablo CrossFit. One of the things he said that I thought was brilliant was like, hey, this what we want from HQ is some good media and don't fuck up the brand. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's CrossFit Mecklenburg 5-star, 26 reviews. That's insane. Awesome gym and coaches. I was in town for the week and dropped in for a few morning classes. Holy shit, this is from a visitor. Everyone was welcoming. The facility is great. Coaching, informative, and helpful. I highly recommend them if you're looking for a CrossFit gym. Damn, that's not even some home cooking. That's a fucking foreigner done come in.
That's right.
So you're part of the Craig Howard School. Don't fuck up what I want from HQ. Some media, some positive media, and please don't fuck up the brand. Those are the only two things. Like, don't drive us into an iceberg, and maybe put out some good media.
100%.
Okay. And what is the brand to you? If someone said to you, what is the CrossFit brand?
I think it's pretty simple. Like, just work hard and results are there. Be consistent and do some shit that's difficult regularly. Most people that come into CrossFit or if I talk to wherever is like, oh, I could never do CrossFit. And I'm like, why I don't even know why you would say that, but why, and they're like, well, it's so hard. And I'm like, well, yeah, but life is hard. And if you could put yourself through some difficult shit for, I don't know, whatever the shortest watt is, Fran or something, you can put yourself through that, man, what else is easy? Or what else you think is hard that you've been telling yourself you can't do? But now it's you can do it. You can make that look easy too if you work hard.
There's these four. I'm glad you said. It's so honest what you said. When someone says it's hard, you don't say no, it's not. You're like, yeah, everything's hard. All the good shit's hard. Some people might be like, well, maybe we should soften it up and say it's not hard. There's 4 things you get if you go into CrossFit Mecklenburg. You get to hang out with people who are involved, who you get to hang out with people who have a similarity, no matter what background they come from, that they are taking personal accountability and personal responsibility at bare minimum, at the highest level, bare minimum 1 hour a day. They all are pretty, you get to say you're a badass. You can wear a CrossFit shirt in public, and no matter what anyone thinks of CrossFit, they see you walk into the Starbucks and they know, like, okay, that person, you get free swagger. It adds years to your life, and it adds quality to every year that it does add to your life. It's just, yeah, the brand stands for so much good shit.
I say this, I'm a broken record with a few things, but one of which I say, and people that have been with me probably can regurgitate this, is you get to say yes to way more things if you come and do this every day.
Oh, I like that. Yes.
You get to say yes to more things. So guess what? Now you meet some people that you might have not said yes to that enrich your life or, give you a better experience. Also, your confidence is up. I'm pretty nervous. Like most people, I don't like public speaking. And in the beginning, I would fuck up a lot, stutter, and I was nervous even with 2 people that was I doing the right thing. But over the course of time, being in front of people, and I love what I'm doing, it became natural. And there's no faking. The content is what I believe in. And now if I have to do something in front of a bigger group, I really just, if it even has nothing to do with CrossFit, I mean, we do fundraisers that I've got to talk about some different the philanthropies that we like to help. It's given me an opportunity to be more confident in myself.
100%. 100%. It's funny you say that too. It's all I've known for 15 years, and it's and speaking about that subject, it comes so easily for me too. And yet probably public speaking about some subject where I had to fake it, I'd fucking lose my mind and run off into the crowd.
That's bad. Yeah.
Daniel, here's the thing, and that was the problem with Floyd 19. It was driving into an iceberg. Let's say I agree with you, and that was driving into an iceberg. Let me also say this: if Greg would have stood up and said, "Fuck you, I stand 100% behind what I said," and he would have let the 400 affiliates of the 15,000 peel off and go fuck themselves, the brand would be 10 times stronger than it is today. I am telling you that with 100% certainty. If Greg would have just stood up, said, "Fuck you," we could have come out of the other side of this. And I'm not saying that I'm not blaming Greg for not doing it. He had fought plenty of fights, not just for CrossFit, but for fucking all of the free markets on this planet. And he had reached a point where it was like, okay, fuck you. And there were people internally who didn't have his back. And there were dumb fucks. There were sharks in the water, like Julie Fouché and people like that who were fucking like doing some fucking duplicitous shit behind his back, who didn't want to fight with him side by side. So he's like, fuck you. And he made a fucking killing and got rich. And I'm so fucking happy for him. And he fucking jumped ship. But this brand would be so much stronger today if he would have been like, eat a dick, leave affiliates, even if half of them would have left. This brand, we would be like the Hell's Angels times 1,000 of fitness. And everyone who was in the lifeboats would be like, damn, the CrossFit shirts would be like, then we'd be real gangsters, like Nick Diaz shit.
Yes. Yeah,
My thoughts. It was an opportunity that was missed, but I'm not blaming Greg, but it was an opportunity because in the end of the day, the truth came out and we know.
Yeah, right. Why were those people not seeing his total body of work? Like his body of work was all inclusive,
Yeah.
It befuddled me that people jumped off, and that was the newer crowd though. Really, that was not the old OG people.
Dude, we could have paraded the 50 black people that were upset. Greg could have paraded 10,000 black people who would have had his back, 10,000 homosexuals who would have had his back, 10,000 trannies that would have had, like, everyone who did CrossFit and knew Greg and crossed his path was like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? He would fucking grab me, hug me, and kiss me every time he saw me. No one who crossed paths with the dude was ever like, he's racist. Chuck
Carswell is the head
yes.
of the fucking, come on.
Yes.
Come out of the woodwork and really like, but I like that Greg didn't want to battle. Why would he battle? Like,
he had done enough too, man. He had done enough.
Yeah. He got abused, man. It sucked. And
And to tell you the truth, I have a better friendship with him. I was probably best friends with him then, and my friendship now with him is closer than ever. And I like it that he's on the new and bigger and better things. And I actually do have faith in this Don guy.
Okay.
I hear that Don and Dave and Gary Gaines are going to Brazil to talk to affiliates down there this week. And when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, wow, like this guy's surrounding himself by strong characters. Like Gary and Dave are strong men, and Don's a strong man.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Nicole's going, but that's a strong woman. And I just like the I like it. I have hope. I have a lot of hope. I have a lot of hope in this country right now.
I do too. That's the thing. During all that bullshit, when people would bring it up, like, "Oh, have you seen that or that?" No, I don't pay attention to that. I know that I'm having a good time. And what are you doing right now? You're working out. So what are you?
Is the affiliate doing well? It's doing well.
Yeah, we're at a good place.
Oh, I'm stoked for you.
Yeah.
Hey, one of my guys is there, and I see his whole life transformed. One of my homeboys is there.
Will
Yeah.
Branstetter?
Yeah, his whole life fucking changed there.
He's a good dude, man. That kid comes in. He's funny. He's got a really good, funny sense of humor. Smart as fuck. Yeah.
Hard worker. Holy shit.
Yeah. He looks entirely different than when he first came. I mean,
he looks like a man now.
When he takes his shirt off, I whistle at him appropriately, like I do for the women when they take
You stay 6 feet away when you whistle at him.
Yeah, of course. No, he's cool, man. He puts in work every day. He knows when to pump the brakes. I speak to him I'd speak to everybody regularly, but he's a good dude.
I heard that Allison, the interim CEO, came into your gym.
Yeah.
I heard she was doing chest to bar pull-ups. She ripped her hands and kept going. True or false?
That is 100% true.
That's badass. Allison, I take back half the bad things I've ever said about you. Only half, but that is badass.
We did overhead squats as the sister movement for the couplet.
Yeah.
And she had great mobility, good overhead squats. I saw that she was ripping her hand, and I went over and made her a little tape thing so that she could continue. So, continue to finish the workout. But yeah,
you get your affiliate fees waived for a year for making that thing for her?
I didn't ask for the discount, but if she's going to do it, I'm down.
Brendan, thank you for all your time this morning. Thanks for introducing us to your daughter. Thanks for all the real talk. You're an amazing dude. I'm glad I got to meet you.
Yeah, likewise, man. Thanks for the time. I really appreciate it. Susan for hooking it up. Caleb, man, thanks for getting on there and looking up all this stuff for us, man.
Awesome, dude.
Yo, have a great day.
You too, brother. Thank you.
All right. Stay in touch.
Ciao.
Later.
I give myself a 10 on that one. I'm fucking 7 minutes late to tennis.
I concur.
I text my wife right now. It was good, right?
That was good. He's a good dude.
Yeah, great dude, right? Hey, I rarely ask a question that I regret asking, and I did ask one question I regret asking. I want to know why I didn't get married, and then when I asked it, I was like, I shouldn't ask that.
Says the guy who didn't want to get married to begin with.
Here's the thing. When the thing about what I do is I throw some really fucking I throw some frisbees really, really fucking hard, and I throw them, and they're bad throws. But it gives an opportunity for someone to be a superstar and make the fucking greatest catch of all time. And that's how I justify some of my bad throws. But if you don't catch it, and like it touches your fingertips and goes out, and you get blamed, but really it was just my bad throw. So it's a did that make sense? Do you understand the metaphor I'm trying? Yeah.
I'm tracking.
Are you wearing makeup?
No.
Lotion on your skin?
No, these are the fucking bags under my eyes.
Oh, no, I wasn't even talking about that. Your skin just you look so shiny.
No, it's the fluorescent light in here.
Daniel, thank you for the speaking of thank you. Thank you for throwing me the alley-oop, by the way. That was nice. I like the you threw me an alley-oop. I feel like I dunked it good. Rich Holton, thank you. You can stop doing that handstand now. And Kenneth DeLapp, I have a secret love affair with you. That's all I have to say. Okay. Bye, guys. I'll see you guys. Oh, tonight. We might have Danielle Brandon on tonight. We might push it to next Sunday.